So as we get to the end of the job, and really throughout the job, one thing that we do is there must be 200 different points on this checklist. And it might be a boring part of it, but it's the reality of building a truck like this and doing a complete build where you have 3-4 different guys that are working on it at different times. Safety and reliability is super important to us, so this is a part of that process. And what I'd kind of like to show from here a little bit is what the shakedown looks like. Before these vehicles leave our shop, they get anywhere from 300 to 500 miles put on them by myself, and that allows us to find the little things. I mean, this isn't an assembly line at GM or Ford where we have millions and millions of dollars invested in all this stuff and making sure every part works together. We've got parts from well over 100 different companies here that we need to make sure that they're all meshing together. At the end of the day, no matter how much checklist we do, that process looks like going out on the road and driving this truck, observing and testing it and using it like it's going to be used. So this truck has no miles on it right now, and we'll go for a quick drive and just kind of see what our initial take on it looks like and how it feels and what we need to do next. So it's a process of finishing these builds to make sure they're reliable, and it's a part of the job is what it is. So this truck looks done. I could send it home tomorrow, but the job's not done until it gets to that 300 or 500 miles. I think it's kind of a stigma for a lot of people to not realize what it actually means to finish one of these cars. And like, everybody has problems. I don't care if you're the Roadster shop, Chip Foose, Kindick, it doesn't matter. They all run into a bad alternator. It's part of the business. I think it's important to show it and display it and show that that's part of doing these cars and what it takes to actually finish them so that expectations are met. And then shit still breaks at 501 miles. At least we got most of it. Okay. We'll take it from 0 miles. That was that snap, crackle, pop I was talking about. We'll see. These engines, there's like, the cams are constantly adjusting, and that's all done in tuning too. So you can tune these things to sound a whole bunch of different ways. Okay, first observation. Check engine lights on. It likely has to do with the mass airflow sensor, because these engines are super specific about how the mass airflow sensor is placed in the intake tube. And I know for a fact, if you don't use a stock one, it will throw a code. So that'll get dealt with in tuning. You can make some adjustments in those tables and get that corrected. I don't really expect this drive to feel super great as far as like throttle response and idle and everything, because this engine's just kind of like searching for that mass airflow reading that it's used to seeing. So all that is taken care of in tuning. Even down to the tire size. There'll be different things for the shift points and the transmission. You got 10 gears to deal with now, not a 3-speed C6 with basically no adjustment in it. The steering feels actually really good, right? Just feels like, I mean, we're not driving it yet, but just the resistance on it feels like it should. It's not too light. It's got a little bit of weight to it, which I think is good for this truck. You don't want to feel like it's just like floating all over the place. You want to feel that positive feel, which that's something we kind of always have to think about and deal with. Is everybody wants to put a smaller steering wheel in these older vehicles, because a lot of them had 16-inch steering wheels. So when you do that, you lessen the ratio and the amount of power you physically have turning it. It's something to be aware of. But this one feels really good. And then you put bigger tires in it, a heavier engine. This actually has a lighter engine. So just a matter of listening for everything. I hear a little rattle we have to deal with. Watching all the gauges. Seems like it's shifting pretty good. Maybe a little late. Felt like a little flare shift, but not super worried about that stuff right now. We've got a guy in a town over that's been doing the Coyote tuning for us. This will be the 3rd one within the last year, and he's doing a good job. We always leave the steering wheel basically loose, because you can see the steering wheel is not straight. That's why this tape is on here. I should have brought a Sharpie, but what I do is drive the truck or car, whatever it is, get it going straight down the road, and then run a Sharpie line across the steering column. That way when we get back to the shop, we can put the tires straight, pop the wheel off, move it over a spline, and put it back on. We never get it like perfectly straight right out of the gate, but the alignment shop can make little adjustments in the tie rods to fine tune it from there. Looks like we do not have a speedometer right now. There's only one way you're going to find that out, by driving it. But that's okay. We're getting the signal from the ECU, and it's got an interface that ties into Dakota Digital, so it's likely just a setting in the gauges that we need to set it up for the correct input. Yeah, see, since the steering wheel is not straight, it kicks the turn signal off, because the position of the steering wheel is what sets the position of it's called a canceling cam inside the steering wheel hub, and that's what mechanically kicks the lever down for the turn signal. So since the steering wheel is not straight, it's just not working correctly right now, but that's fine. It actually, I mean, it feels really good. The brakes feel okay right now. They're all Willwood brakes, so they haven't been bedded yet. I don't expect them to feel super great yet. Our pedal ratio should be good. We had to go to a smaller brake booster because of the clearance for the Coyote and just the position of the engine, but it's a dual diaphragm, so it should be pretty comparable to the amount of assist this truck would have had originally. But it's really important that you bed these Willwood disc brakes. What that process looks like is basically getting them really hot. You go up and you slow down quickly, you let them cool, and you do this cycle to get them bedded. But if you don't do that, those pads will glaze over. They won't ever, I couldn't tell you what exactly is happening, but it's like it's mating the two surfaces together, and it just makes them work. It works really well. And if you don't and they glaze, you pretty much got to sand them down or get new pads, because they'll never have that braking quality. You can actually buy them pre-bedded. I know a lot of racers do that. That way, if they're at the track, they can just slap them on and go race, and they don't have to bed their brakes. Something to do with heating up the pad and cooling it down. The truck feels soft. We pretty much built this truck like a half-ton. It's a 3/4 ton truck originally, camper special, but we built this more a half-ton just because it's not going to get a camper in the back. If we can make it a little more pleasant to drive, then that's good. We'll roll back to the shop. It's to a point now where we can get it to the tuner and let him go through the engine. There's really no reason to take it any farther at this point in time. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's it's just cutting power for some reason. It seems like just as soon as it went under a little bit of a load, I mean, it's got fuel in it. I doubt it's running out of fuel.
Probably trying to find a gear for the transmission.
Might be, yeah. Sometimes these can't even drive. One of the Coyotes in the Bronco, we had to do an intake runner length module delete on that for clearance, but you couldn't even drive that thing until after it was tuned. Sounds like we might have a little exhaust lift too. Yeah, on the right side. There's a little leak somewhere. Yeah, there's something, a little leak.
It's weird, it's intermittent.
It is weird.
It must be like a little loose.
Could be, yeah.
Pop it open and check. Do live diagnostics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't even hear it now. That's staying nice and cool. This is the mass airflow sensor that I was talking about. It goes into the tube and it reads the air, the volume of air that is entering the engine. It's a really important reading. The diameter of this pipe matters. Where it's positioned in the pipe matters. You can't have it too close to a bend. You can't have it too close to the filter. You can't have it too close to the intake throttle valve, because it'll have like a kind of a reverberation almost, like that will disturb this sensor. So what he has to do when he's tuning it is go through and change the table so that it matches, more or less it matches the diameter of this tube, because it is different than stock. Different little tricks they can do as well. They have like a air straightener that they can put before this. So a big problem that happens even on LSs is that air comes around the corner and it's turbulent. It maybe takes a turn. It's not going right straight through the mass airflow. So that causes an issue and kind of a irregular readings. They have there's different ones. There's like a honeycomb one that basically the air has to pass through this honeycomb shape, and it is designed to straighten the air out. So it's just a really common thing. There's the brushless fans. These things work really good though. You can hear how they kind of come on slowly. It makes it way easier on relays, way easier on fuses. They're much easier to control, and they pull a ton of air. This is PO070 for this truck. But It sucks it on there good. That's perfect. The fan shut off and a drop. Pretty successful first drive though. Yeah, it is. It's like it's twisting. Yeah, it is. You can see it. It's just like rotating down. Wow, it's lovely. Yeah, fully restored. Just leave the hood down.